license, and explain what you're doing in this neighborhood." The officer's voice was clipped, cocky, and loud enough to draw eyes from the gas station across the street. He grinned as he leaned down, hand resting on his holster. The black woman in the driver's seat blinked once, calm, measured, no panic, no nerves. Her voice came out like velvet-wrapped steel. "Is there a reason you stopped me?" he scoffed. "Ma'am, your car's too clean to belong to someone around here. You are matching a description." He sneered at the last part like a punchline. From the passenger seat of the patrol car, his rookie partner shifted. Uncomfortable. The woman kept her hands perfectly still, both flat on the steering wheel. Her nails were polished. Her blazer? Smooth, pressed. Her wristwatch ticked louder than the silence that followed. "I'd like to know what that description is," she said, gaze locked forward. "Oh, so now you're asking questions?" He leaned closer, sunglasses catching the sun. "You talk back real polite, but I know the type. Little attitude, just enough education to think you're above the law." He smiled wider, like he'd won something. A beat. Then she slowly tilted her head and asked, "Are you finished?" He blinked. The confidence faltered just a touch. "Step out of the car." "I don't think that's wise," she replied, unbothered. "You don't think? That's cute. Are you trying to go viral?" He turned, chuckling to his partner. "They always act like lawyers until they're cuffed." "I said it's unwise," she repeated. "Because the moment you see my credentials, this entire traffic stop ends." He chuckled again. "Oh, what? You got a cousin who's a judge?" The woman's lips didn't move. Just a slow reach, deliberate, visible. From the visor above, she pulled a black leather badge case and opened it toward him. The gold shield shimmered. Her voice didn't rise, but it sliced through the air like a blade. "I'm Chief Danielle Hayes, newly appointed by the mayor's office. I was on my way to introduce myself to my precinct." The partner froze. The senior officer stepped back like he'd been slapped. "You what?" he stammered. This is some kind of prank. Call it in," she said. "Or, better yet, follow me. I believe you two are the ones late to the briefing where I'll be leading the introductions." The younger officer reached for his radio. "No, wait," his senior barked. His voice cracked. She looked at him fully now, measured, calm, her tone. "Still silk. I won't report you for profiling. Not yet. But I suggest you remember this face because next time it won't be on the side of the road." He said nothing. She started the car. "You're going to drive off?" "I just told you who I am." Her eyes flicked once to his badge. "I outrank you. I don't need your permission to move." The tires didn't screech, but they didn't crawl either. As her car pulled into traffic, the partner whispered, "She's the new chief?" The officer didn't answer. His face had gone pale. Across the street, someone lowered their phone. "You sure she said chief?" Officer Kent adjusted his collar for the third time since they entered the precinct lobby. Sweat beaded at his temple, though the air conditioning was on full blast. "She showed a badge," the rookie muttered. It was real. Kent slammed his locker shut. "This is our house. She walks in thinking she's above protocol. We'll see how long that lasts." Just then, the room shifted. Like a storm cloud had drifted in without sound. Click. Click. Her heels struck the tile with even rhythm measured. Black suit. No smile. Command in every step. The precinct, alive with morning chatter seconds before, fell silent. Mugs lowered. Screens froze mid-keystroke. Half a dozen uniforms straightened up. Danielle Hayes walked through the station like she belonged there. Because she did. "Good morning," she said, not raising her voice. Just enough authority to slice the quiet. "Deputy." Chief Alvarez was the first to move. Chief Hayes, welcome. We've been expecting you." She offered a single nod. "Briefing room. 5 minutes, all supervisors. She didn't wait for approval. Didn't need it. Kent's jaw locked. She didn't even introduce herself. She didn't have to, muttered Officer Lena, stepping past him. That was the introduction. Inside the briefing room, chairs shuffled and papers rustled as everyone filed in. Kent and his partner sat near the back. Hayes stepped to the front. No PowerPoint. No long-winded bio. Just her, one sheet of notes, and the room full of officers unsure what to expect. You've heard about me. Maybe through a memo. Maybe through whispers. Either way. She scanned the room, calm. Let me make it official. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to fix a culture that's been broken for too long. A few officers stiffened. One or two exchanged looks. I know what you're thinking, she continued. That I'm too young, that I got here for PR, that I don't know how things work here. Her gaze stopped at Kent. I do. He shifted. Started in the South Precinct. 3 years undercover in Vice. 2 awards for de-escalation. 1 for leadership. And one I never talk about for walking into a meth house without backup because I knew a girl inside wouldn't make it 5 more minutes. The room was silent. I don't care about your politics. I care if you can serve with integrity. And if you can't leave now, silence. No one moved. She nodded. Then we begin. As she walked out, whispers returned. That was intense. Lena muttered. Kent crossed his arms. She's a speechmaker. Won't last a month. Behind him, someone tapped a phone. A clip was already spreading her stepping out of the car. That morning, her badge held up like a mirror to racism. Maybe, the rookie said quietly. But this time, the cameras are on our side. Y'all seen the video yet? Detective Marquez leaned against the break room counter, phone tilted. Sideways. A low chuckle escaped her lips. Dude had no idea. She torched him without even raising her voice. Officer Lena nodded, eyes wide. Whole internet's calling her the Velvet Guillotine, Marquez laughed. Fits, quiet cut, full slice. The video 16 seconds of cell phone footage from the gas station was everywhere now. It showed Danielle Hayes stepping from her black sedan, holding up her badge like a verdict. No yelling, no cursing. Just facts and presence. By noon, it had 3.2 million views. By 2 o'clock. The mayor's press secretary posted, Chief Hayes sets the tone. Professional, composed, commanding. We support her fully, but inside the station, it wasn't all applause. Can't even pull over a suspicious car now without worrying it's a setup? Kent tossed his paper cup in the trash like it had personally offended him. You mean you can't profile anymore? Lena shot back. Big difference, Kent sneered. You sticking your nose where it doesn't belong again? I follow the law, not my feelings. He stepped closer. She's making you soft. No, Lena said. She's making you look exposed. Down the hallway, Hayes stood in her office, blinds cracked open. She wasn't watching them, but they felt like she was behind her desk. An envelope said unopened. Anonymous. Type note. No name, no fingerprints. You might wear the badge, but you'll never wear the bloodline. You weren't raised for this. Get out before the wolves start. Biting. She read it twice. Then calmly slipped it into a drawer labeled evidence. Later that day, she walked the floor, no entourage, no security. Morning, Officer Reynolds, she said with a nod. Reynolds was startled. Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She passed 2 more desks. Phones quieted. One man turned his monitor off. Another shifted a folder to cover a tabloid headline that read, Black woman takes badge, white cops get silent. But just as she passed the bullpen exit, a young officer, dark-skinned, barely 25, stood up straighter. Chief Hayes? She turned. Yes? He looked nervous. Ma'am, I just wanted to say, my cousin saw that video. He cried. Said he never thought he'd see someone who looked like you. In charge. She held his eyes for a beat. Tell him we've only just started. Yes, ma'am. As she walked away, his lips curved not in admiration, but relief. Down in the parking lot, Kent met with two senior officers near a cruiser. She's starting to build a fan club. He muttered. One of them, Sergeant Mills, lit a cigarette. Won't matter. This place chews up idealists and spits out politics. Kent looked back at the station door. We'll see. Policy overreach. Danielle read the subject line twice. The email was cold, precise, sent at 6:01 a.m. Your recent changes to review protocols violate department precedent. The union is filing formal resistance effective immediately. Her reforms had barely been inked, just a simple shift. Bodycam reviews would now include a civilian oversight panel and an expanded post-stop audit for traffic stops involving minorities. Apparently, that was too much. She closed the email and looked up. Deputy Chief Alvarez stood in the doorway. You saw it? He asked. I did. They're coming for you faster than expected. I expected yesterday. He hesitated. You know you're shaking bones that have been buried for years. She gave a tight smile. Good, let them rattle. Downstairs, the mood was changing. Kent leaned against the coffee machine, talking louder than needed. She wants civilians reviewing our stops? Let them ride along. Let them deal with crackheads at 3 a.m. Then we'll talk. Someone muttered. Agreement. Someone else glanced toward the hallway, then quickly away. At her weekly command meeting, Hayes entered to a half-full room. 3 lieutenants were sick. One claimed his wife had a family emergency. She sat down anyway. Where's the file from internal review? She asked. Silence. Sergeant Mills cleared his throat. Must be delayed. Clerk's department was having issues. She stared. That file had a use-of-force case involving one of your men, Officer Denton. Yes, ma'am, he replied slowly. And Denton's on leave pending the union's legal prep. Prep for what? He's filing harassment claims against you. The room stiffened. Her voice stayed low. For asking why he broke a woman's wrist during a routine search? For singling him out? Mills replied. They're saying you're targeting white officers with a clean record. Hayes didn't blink. She pulled out her tablet and tapped twice. The recording played, a body cam clip cut cleanly, showing Denton laughing after tossing a handcuffed woman onto pavement. She paused it just before the woman screamed. Let me be clear, she said. If calling this out is considered harassment, then consider me guilty and relentless. No one moved. I want that file on my desk by end of day. Later that afternoon, Lena knocked on her door. You have a minute? Hayes nodded. Come in. Lena closed the door behind her. I heard something. Thought you should know. Danielle looked up. They're planning a slow roll protest. Officers are going to delay call responses by a few minutes each. Not long enough to track, but enough to send a message. Hayes's face didn't flinch. Are you in on it? She asked. Lena shook her head. I don't protest change. Especially not when it finally looks like us. Hayes offered a rare smile. Thank you. Keep your eyes open. As the sun dipped behind the precinct's tall windows, the hallway lights flickered. The internal review file still hadn't arrived, and at 7:30 p.m., the IT department logged an unexpected data purge. Specifically, use-of-force cases from the last 18 months. She stared at the screen. Someone was erasing evidence. Someone was fighting dirty. She stood slowly, walked to the break room, found Kent alone, stirring coffee. She didn't say a word, just stared at him. Long enough for the silence to which stop. Can I help you? She leaned in, voice soft. Tell them this. I don't scare. I document. And when I document long enough, people resign." She turned and walked away. Kent's spoon stopped mid-stir. And for the first time, he didn't have a clever thing to say. "I don't need allies," Hayes had once told herself in the mirror. "Just proof." That morning, she walked into the precinct with a simple gray folder in hand. No fanfare. No press. Inside, a missing person case from 8 months ago. 17-year-old Kia Randall. Last seen in East Pine, dismissed as just. Another runaway. She'd found inconsistencies. Photos misfiled. A lead that had never been followed up. A man's name mentioned twice in 2 different witness reports. Never cross-referenced. The man? Darnell Finch, known for working night shifts at a hardware warehouse and for giving rides to neighborhood girls. She forwarded it to Detective Marquez. Quietly, "I just want a background check," Hayes said. No drama, no warning. 2 hours later, Marquez texted back, "You just cracked it wide open." That night, Finch was arrested leaving his job 2 girls in his car. One of them was Kier, alive, safe. Scared. No press conference. No speech. Just a quiet line on the incident board the next day. Subject located. Chief initiated review. In the break room, the silence was different now. "Wait, she found Kia?" Lena whispered to a stunned rookie. "She reopened it on her own?" Another asked. Dat leaned back, arms crossed. "Probably just trying to grab attention." "No cameras were there," Lena said. "No tweets, no ribbon cutting, just paperwork. Just work." Even Sergeant Mills said nothing. Later that afternoon, Hayes walked into the holding area. The girl Kier sat, alone, clutching a blanket. Her eyes darted toward the glass, then away. Hayes entered quietly, sitting across from her. "You're not in trouble. You're safe," Kier hesitated. "Are you?" "A real cop?" Hayes smiled softly. "Real enough. No one believed me before. They do now." Kier blinked hard. "He said I'd be nothing, just another lost black girl." Hayes reached across the table and handed her a bottle of water. "Let him rot in a cell. You're not lost. You were ignored. That's different. And it's on them, not you." Outside, Lena watched through the glass. "She didn't have to come down here," she said. Marquez crossed her arms. "That's the difference. She wanted to." The following morning, Hayes entered her office to find a single sticky note on her door. No signature. Just 5 words. "You made believers out here." And beneath that, someone had placed a fresh copy of the internal review file that had gone missing days before, printed. Annotated. With Denton's report circled in red. That afternoon, during the daily officer briefing, Hayes entered the room as usual. No notes, no slides. Just a simple announcement. "Kia Randall has been returned to her family." A pause. "I reviewed the case myself. Found the gap. Filed the paperwork. That's how this works now. You miss something, we fix it. Immediately." No applause, but heads nodded. Even Kent didn't speak. She folded her arms. "No need to thank me. Just meet the standard." And with that, she walked out. Marquez turned to Lena. "You feel that?" "What?" "The floor just shifted." "Roll call at 0700. Sergeant Mills barked. Everyone gathered. Half stood. Half leaned on lockers. Coffee in hand. Sarcasm in the air. Then the doors opened. Chief Hayes stepped in. Silence spread like spilled ink. She walked to the front without notes. No podium, just her presence. "Morning," she said flatly. "Morning, Chief," a few muttered. She scanned the room. "Before we get to assignments, I want to talk about accountability. Again." Groans. A few eyes rolled. She ignored them. "There's a belief," she said, "that if you wear this badge long enough, you earn immunity. Not respect, not leadership, just unchecked immunity. Then Maybe that's how you see it, Kent said, standing from the back row. A beat. He stepped forward slowly. Arms crossed. Voice louder than it needed to be. Far as I can tell, you spent more time digging into us than into criminals. Eyes shifted across the room. Lena froze. Hayes tilted her head. Is that a question? Kent smirked. It's a pattern. I've been here 14 years. Never once had a chief watch roll call daily. Never seen one handpick files from evidence. You think you're fixing us. Truth is, you're just waiting for someone to slip. Another beat. Hayes didn't blink. Thank you, Officer Kent. He blinked. What? She turned to Marquez. Can you bring the binder? Marquez stood slowly, crossing the room with a thick black folder. Hayes opened it without hesitation. Officer Kent, she said. Internal memo 3 months ago. You discharged your weapon during a noise complaint call. No firearm was ever found at the scene. You filed it as self-defense. No body cam footage was submitted. Why? Kent's smirk vanished. Officer. Kent, last year you had 17 complaints for aggressive language during traffic stops. 10 involved black or Latino drivers. 2 were minors. Gasps. Chairs shifted. 3 complaints were sustained, but quietly closed. She snapped the binder shut. You're right. I'm watching. Because this badge doesn't protect corruption. It protects civilians. Kent's face went pale. I didn't come here to make friends, Hayes said. I came here to clean house. If that bothers you, you're welcome to step outside. Kent clenched his fist but didn't move. Didn't think so, she said. She turned back to the group. This is the new standard. Be better or be gone. She walked away. The silence behind her? Deafening. Later, in the hallway, Lena caught. Up to Kent. You good? She asked flatly. He looked like a man who'd just been gutted. She had that whole file ready. She's been ready, Lena said. You poked the wrong bear. Down the hall, officers whispered, but this time, it wasn't just gossip. It was awe. She shut him down without yelling. She used his own file. She didn't break a sweat. Upstairs, Hayes stood by her window. Alvarez stepped in behind her. You made a move. I made a point. He nodded, and the precinct felt it. She turned slowly. They need to understand, she said, voice quiet but sharp. I'm not here for war, but I won't blink when someone declares one. The next morning, something small changed. Not loud. Not obvious, but real. Officer Reynolds, who hadn't said a word to Hayes since day one, stood when she entered the briefing room. Officer Patel passed her the incident reports without being asked. Lena smiled. Told you. Floor shifting. That same afternoon, Hayes was invited to speak at Jefferson High School, a community relations showcase. The mayor called it. You're the face of change, his aide said. No pressure. Hayes didn't flinch. I don't do showcases. I show up. The auditorium smelled like floor polish and gym socks. Folding chairs lined up with military precision. Students murmured. Teachers hovered near the doors. Hayes stepped onto the stage without a speech. No script. Just presence. She took the mic. Before I speak, she said, I want to call someone up here. Murmurs rippled. Kia Randall. Are you here? From the back row, a small figure rose slowly. The auditorium froze. Every phone tilted. Kia walked to the stage, stiff but proud. Hayes didn't say a word. She stepped aside. Let Kier speak first. I'm alive, Kier said softly, eyes scanning her classmates. Because someone cared enough to go back through old papers no one wanted to read. Hayes stepped back in. That's what real protection looks like, she said. Not sirens, not guns. Attention. The crowd silent for a breath erupted. Students stood. Applause roared. Teachers blinked tears away. Someone in the front row whispered, She's not just chief, She's ours. Back at the precinct, word traveled fast. She gave the mic to the girl, Marquez said, scrolling through a viral video clip. No speech, Lena added. Just action. Kent sat alone at his desk, watching the same clip. He said nothing. Next day, Alvarez knocked on Hayes's door. You've got a visitor, he said. City Council rep. Hayes arched a brow. Which one? Ms. Trujillo. Trujillo stepped in sharp suit, tighter smile. We've had some disagreements, Chief, she said. We have. But after yesterday, we're shifting our stance. Oh? We'd like to expand your reforms, Citywid. Hayes stood slowly. Why? Trujillo shrugged. Because the public trusts you more than they trust us. And frankly, you make the rest of us look like cowards. A pause. Then. Congratulations, Chief Hayes. You just became the standard. That evening, the locker room at the precinct buzzed. Lena leaned into Marquez. We're not the same station. Anymore. We're not the same force anymore, Marquez replied. Outside. Hayes walked through the lot toward her car. Not alone. 4 officers stood at attention as she passed. No. Salute. Just respectful nods. She didn't nod back. She didn't need to. Respect, once earned, doesn't have to be returned instantly. It echoes. Chief. Hayes protocol, that's what the local paper called it. Front page. Bold font. A new standard in policing. Human first, badge second. The mayor didn't ask for edits. The governor didn't push back. Instead, other precincts began requesting her internal audit model. Even the union, once snarling behind doors, grew quiet. Lena held up the paper in the break room. She made it real, she said. Marquez nodded. And they hate that. A few miles away, in West Precinct, a different meeting was happening. Captain Boyle slammed the article on the table. I won't have my people taking orders from someone who rewrites decades of protocol in a year. Another sergeant nodded. She's making us look lazy. Boyle's eyes narrowed. No, she's making us irrelevant. A younger officer cleared his throat. Sir, respectfully. She's not wrong. Her precinct dropped civilian complaints by 30%. Use of force cases are being resolved in days, not buried in red tape. The table went still. Boyle's glare could have cut steel. You want to wear a skirt and smile through traffic stops? He hissed. Or do you want to survive on these streets? Silence. Until another officer finally whispered, I want to be proud of the badge again. Back at Hayes's precinct, Officer Patel handed her a folder. 5 outside departments. Requesting your training module, Chief. She nodded. Share it. No copyright? She looked up. We don't protect progress. We multiply it. Later that day, a former critic, Detective Granger, approached her in the hallway. Chief, he said, a little stiff, I used your de-escalation policy on a domestic call yesterday. First time no one ended up cuffed, not even raised voices. Hayes paused. How'd it feel? He hesitated. Weird, but right. She nodded once. Get used to it. Meanwhile, the city council chamber buzzed. Trujillo stood at the podium. Cameras everywhere. We recommend expanding Chief Hayes's oversight program citywide. But be warned, change exposes rot, and some will scream as they burn. Reporters scribbled. One raised a hand. What about internal resistance? She looked directly into the camera. Then they can resign. At the precinct, Kent watched from the back row of the break room. The screen flickered as Trujillo's words replayed. Marquez muttered, that sounded like a warning. Lena replied, no, that was a promise. Hayes didn't watch the press coverage. She watched the reports. Drop in community complaints. Rise in civilian cooperation. Fewer. Calls escalating to force. It wasn't a trend. It was a turn. That night, Alvarez joined her outside as she locked up. You? Seeing this? He asked. I see everything, she said. You know they're regrouping. Boyle, Mills, the ones who think you're too calm to hold real power. She smiled faintly. Good, he raised a brow. Good? They think the absence of rage means weakness. But I've been surviving quiet wars since I was 12. He nodded. I believe you. Doesn't matter if you do, she said, unlocking her car. They will. It started with a headline. Breaking. Video shows Chief Hayes yelling at civilian during traffic stop. It spread fast. Social feeds lit up. Anonymous accounts posted a shaky clip. Grainy. Dart out of context. Hayes's voice raised, sharp. No context. No beginning. No aftermath. She snapped. She's no different. Fake reformer. Power drunk. Within hours, cable news jumped in. Commentators grinned. See? This is what happens when you hire for optics. Even the mayor's office went quiet. Inside the precinct, the air was thick. Kent watched the footage on loop. I said she was just waiting to explode, Lena snapped. That's not the full video. You know? He shrugged. Doesn't matter what's true, just what people believe. Hayes sat alone in her office. Alvarez entered. Close the door. They're pushing for an emergency review, he said. City council spooked. Unions acting like they had nothing to do with it. She didn't answer. He handed her a folder. We traced the upload. Guess where it started? She opened it. A printed screenshot. An internal IP address, West Precinct. Captain Boyle. She smiled. Of course it was. That evening, she called a press conference. No lawyers. No aides. Just her. And the truth, she stepped to the podium. Looked directly at the cameras. No teleprompter. One reporter whispered. She began. You've seen a clip. A few seconds of me raising my voice. What you didn't see was what happened before. A man shouting slurs at a grocery clerk, threatening her with a bottle. You didn't see me step in, because his words had already cut her. You didn't see her crying behind the counter. She held up a small USB stick. This is the full footage. And it's already been uploaded to every media outlet in this city. You'll watch it. Then decide whether I lost control or took it back. She stepped away without a thank you. By midnight, the full video trended. And the tide turned. She protected a store clerk from a violent drunk. The smear attempt just exposed how strong she is. Full footage clears Chief Hayes completely. The clerk, Ana Rivera, released a statement. Chief Hayes didn't scream at him. She commanded him and saved me. The mayor finally tweeted, proud to stand with Chief Hayes. Leadership is tested in noise, not silence. Inside the precinct, Kent muttered, guess the video didn't work. Marquez smirked. Guess truth travels faster than lies this time. Alvarez entered with a slip of paper. Chief? She looked up. Captain Boyle has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation into digital evidence tampering. She nodded. Tell the department. What should I say? She paused. Tell them we don't fire back. We just fire better. Later that night, Hayes stood at her window, watching the city blink. Lena joined her. You all right? Hayes smiled faintly. They tried to bury me with noise. And? She turned. They forgot I taught this city how to listen. The email subject line was simple. Commendation ceremony, downtown hall, 11 MI. Hayes almost deleted it. Alvarez poked his head into her office. You going? She looked up. It's political. True, he nodded. But this time, you own the politics. The city hall steps were crowded. Media vans lined the street. Reporters whispering, mic checks. Buzzing. But Hayes didn't arrive in a motorcade. She walked out alone. No police escort. No flash. Just steady heels, a sharp black suit, and that same uncheckable calm. Inside, the mayor stood at the podium. flanked by council members. Cameras clicked like rain on glass. He cleared his throat. This city needed something rare. It didn't ask for it. It didn't even know how to spell it anymore, but we got it. He gestured toward her. Chief Hayes didn't reform a department. She reminded it what integrity feels like. Applause, reluctant at first. Then rising, the mayor stepped down. Councilwoman Trujillo stepped forward. She held a plaque for unwavering service, unmatched composure, and results that silenced even the loudest doubters. We present this citation. To Chief Danielle Hayes. Hayes took it quietly, no smile. Just a subtle nod. Then she leaned to the mic. Let's be clear, she said. I didn't do this alone. The room stilled. Every officer who chose restraint over rage, every civilian who gave us a second chance, every kid who now believes they can wear the badge and not lose themselves, I share this with you. Applause again, louder. Then she stepped away, back at the precinct. Something had shifted. Kent stood near the lockers as she passed. He didn't speak, but he nodded. And this time, it wasn't tight-lipped or resentful. It was real. Lena met her near the evidence desk. Wanna see something? Hayes followed her. On the hallway bulletin board, beneath the standard memos and case files, someone had pinned a photo. Her holding Kia Randall's hand at Jefferson High. Underneath it, typed in bold, all caps, we remember who showed up. Hayes didn't say anything. Just stood there. Staring. Later that week, the commissioner's office sent a sealed envelope. Inside, a simple line on official letterhead. Effective immediately, Chief Hayes will advise on statewide officer conduct standards and training reform. Strategy. And below it, a handwritten note. They tried to contain you. Now we're asking you to lead us. That night, Hayes drove home under quiet skies. No escort. No lights. Just headlights and rhythm. At a stoplight, a boy on a bicycle paused next to her. He tapped her window. She rolled it down. You're that chief, right? She smiled. I am. My mom says you changed everything. Hayes tilted her head. Do you believe that? The boy grinned. Yeah, 'cause now she lets me dream about being a cop. Before, she said it'd kill me. The light turned green. Then keep dreaming, Hayes said. And drove on.